So, how do you feel, hey guys, neighborhood picks? I'm on the phone with the best coach I know, CARMELLO Ortiz from Florida. Shout out to him because his team is tearing it up right now. So, good luck to you, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Mel, before we were talking, before we came on, how do you feel about the great Kobe Bryant being number 10 on the list? How do you feel about that?
I don't think it's right. I think I think it's Michael Jordan, number one.
Right.
Kobe, number two, one AA. Then number two would be LeBron. I don't even.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even think there's a number two. I think Kobe's as good as Mike.
Well,
he had the killer instinct that nobody had.
a lot of people ignore that these days, you know?
Right, they ignore that, you know? He shot 2 air balls in the beginning of his career
Right.
because he wasn't used to playing 82 games. What did he do next year? He went and worked on his legs, came back, and just started tearing it up.
Yeah.
He's to me, he's better than a lot of those guys that are on that 75.
Do you think Ben Simmons would have done that if he shot those air balls in the playoffs and came back the next one? You think Ben Simmons got his jumper now, or no?
No. Ben Simmons ain't got nothing. He don't got nothing in his stomach. I don't know how he sits up in a chair without a spine.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, you know what? I agree.
You gotta, and here's the thing, like, this kills me the worst. Like, you're a terrible free throw shooter, and
Right.
you can't fix that. That's the easiest
That's terrible.
thing to fix.
That's the easiest shot in basketball. I wonder what it is with players like that.
Your hands are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
But then, I go back and think, I make excuses for myself sometimes. I'm like, well, maybe I'd be a better dribbler if I had bigger hands. And then I'll be at like some crazy tournament and some great basketball player, his little son will be on the sideline, like 3 years old, and the kid's got a better handle than like Iverson. So I just think, I don't think that it's true.
Like, for guys like that, when you got little hands, you just got to strengthen your hands.
Yeah.
Like Kobe shot air balls because his legs were weak. He went next season, worked on his legs. Your free throws suck. Go work on it till you get 90%. Like,
right.
That's the easiest shot. But if you're not even doing that, you're there to catch a paycheck. Really.
So basically, you're saying you got to work on your weak points. You got to work on your weak points in anything.
And that's what Kobe did. They say Kobe would practice the same move 500 times in a row.
Yeah, he would.
The same move.
He would. He would get those footsteps down. I think that's a key to young athletes today.
Right.
I think that it's better to do a few things excellent and rep them thousands of times than to do a million things half-ass. I believe in repetition and mastering what you're doing.
Yeah, right. That's why Steph can shoot so good and all. You know what I'm saying? Because muscle memory. He shoots thousands a day, probably.
Hey, I was thinking about you with your team. I was watching the Muggsy Bogues special on Dunbar High School, and they were talking about how they used to have to carry bricks in their hands while they were doing their defensive slides to keep their hands up. Because if you could keep your hands up with bricks, you're not going to have a problem keeping your hands up normally. And I was thinking about you with the medicine ball with the team. Tell me about that. What's gone on since you went to the medicine ball? How did it work?
Well, the medicine ball works great because I make them do slides with the medicine ball.
Okay, how many pounds? You got a couple different ones, or how do you do it?
I got one medicine ball, 5 pounds.
Nice.
I don't want to get too crazy. I
right.
don't want to get too light. So 5 pounds is good enough. The ball only weighs 3 pounds, 2 something.
I think that's so smart because that's a trick from the old days.
I was told by somebody a long time ago. I ain't gonna say his name, but he'll know as soon as I say this that if you can't catch the ball, you can't pass the ball, you're pretty much sunken.
Yeah.
He told me that.
Yep.
I think that came right from you.
Yeah. One of my big things.
And, again, I've been in this league. This is my 5th season, and I know. Like what Kobe would do. I know what the faults are.
Right.
I know that rebounding and turnovers are the keys to these games because none of these kids are shooting 60% for the
taking care of the ball and pace is so big at it, especially at a development age.
When I give them medicine ball and they're pushing that medicine ball, when the ball gets in their hand,
it's probably snapping.
It's snapping around the court. It's moving around fast.
Yeah.
We're getting wide open shots. We're getting good penetration off of them. You know.
Yeah,
And,
it's so important. It's so important catching and throwing. Like my that used to come from my dad and Andre's dad, because a lot of times everybody in basketball thinks they're nice and everybody wants to be that flashy kid. But as far as like actually putting real teams together, especially on the developmental stage, you need athletes that can catch and throw first. Like sometimes I played with guys like a Joe Harrow. He was a super athlete. Was he a natural basketball player? Not really. But you know what he could do? He could pass that ball around. He could catch and he could fly and go to the rim. So we used him for his strengths. He was great on defense. He was the fastest player on the court, and he was a great football player. He could catch and throw. So you get a bunch of athletes that can really buy into what you're doing, play defense hard, catch and throw, and then you teach them the basics of what you're trying to do. You should always be able to compete, you know?
Yeah, and we've been really competing. Like, I feel that we're like the best team in the league.
So all on the third, you're running the 13 still, right?
Yeah, we're the best defensive team in the league. We in 3 games we've given up, 42 points in 3 games.
I love that 13 defense, because you can be outsized and overmatched and still have the dominant force of the game with that defense. The 13 defense frustrates teams more than anything. Even if you're not trapping, it really frustrates them.
I had a team try to, send the guy up and try to pick my rabbit up top.
Right, but that doesn't even matter, you know?
But that backfired on him, because every time he sent that guy up,
where's he going, right?
Right, my rabbit's throwing the ball to that weak side that he's coming from, and my guy's wide open for shots.
And make sure the opposite wing always drops, because that's the only way we can get hurt is on the skip.
And we're running it pretty good, man. We're running it pretty good.
Nice. Now all you need is to get make sure you have your actions on offense. I don't like to call them plays these days. I'd rather call them actions, because that's basketball. You know.
Yeah, I have a couple plays, a couple little freestyle plays, little quick hitters. But most of the time, I'm just teaching them to get out there in space, and just be able to run up and down the court, man, and create, because.
Yeah.
They're kids. They're 13 and 14.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to touch on. It's so archaic. Do you remember when we were at those ages, and the coaches, like in Tilly, they used to try to give us these like 7-step plays, like Seton Hall. We're gonna go here, then pick down, then go across, then this guy's gonna come. That's not real life. That fucking play is blown up within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You need actions.
And then once that play's blown up, now you're lost.
Right.
9 out of the 10 times it's a turnover.
Right. Now, as far as pace, are you pushing? Are you pushing the ball?
That pressure on the team like that, unless I see that there's a team that they're sitting in like a 2-3 zone, and that's what they're sitting in the whole time.
Right.
Then I'll run a little play.
Right.
Off of that.
And you have I saw your action on the 2-3 zone from a couple weeks ago. I like that a lot. I'm not going to give it away.
And then I got little quick hitters, off the baseline.
Quick hitters, action plays are the best.
Normal, if a team is these young teams, if they're running man to man,
you kill them.
I just try to get these kids to, learn to run down there and get in spots.
If they're in man to man, you keep that thing spread out, wide, deep 1-4, where the two guys on the wing are down in PJ Tucker corner 3 area.
Down in the corner.
This way, the point guard, he can literally dribble down to the side, right, and then hand it off on a weave. And then if that guy on the corner down deep is deep enough, by the time he's coming up, the big man on that same elbow should be setting a sideways pick. So now you got a double action, and you got the guy coming around. You got to pick and pop, pick and roll. And if not, what do? You go right to the other side.
Right, and it's something that the kids don't really gotta
really
think about. Like,
you got to make sure your big men get a body on the pick, though. They can't be dainty.
Yeah, no, I preach that a lot too. I tell them to wait for the picks.
Right.
Make sure that we're bodies on them. And I'm the type of coach, Nooch, that I get in there. I'm not just going to tell you how to do it. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
Right.
I get up in their shit.
That's good. Hey, remember that time we were coaching up in Wayne, and we were practicing? We were trying to help Gary, and you stripped him or something, and he fucking ran out of practice. Like he had like a mental breakdown. I didn't even know that. Like we weren't trying to be a hero or nothing. What the hell? What happened that day?
Just trying to teach them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I had a kid on my team that was great. He's right now he plays high school, but before I got him 2 years prior to high school, and he couldn't go left for nothing.
Right.
But he can go right and do some shit when he goes right.
Right.
So he used to be so full of himself.
Right.
I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna. I told him, okay, well, let me play D on you now, and I just turned my whole body and forced him left.
But did it work?
Yeah, but listen, I forced him left. He couldn't go left. I started stealing the ball from him. I said, look, man, you told me you was gonna do something. And he couldn't go left, and ever since then we worked on our. I played him in practice over and over. I beat him several times.
Right.
We practiced the left hand over and over. He went on to play high school. He's a freshman, and he's playing. He starts JV. He sits the varsity bench, but he's only a freshman. And
okay.
He developed his left hand, and now last week I played him, and he grew a little bit. And he's giving me some work now, so
that's good.
Left hand.
Nice.
So I don't look at it as being mean or tough.
No.
I let you know that listen, there's more to this than what you think.
Right, and sometimes depending on the guy's moves, he might be dominant to the right, but it might not be a bad thing. Like it's hard to tell. Like sometimes a guy goes better to a certain side, but they can't stop him anyway. It's weird, right? Like I guess it depends on the rhythm of how you do your fakes and your ball movement.
Yeah, and 9 out of 10 times, here's the thing too. If the kid, for kids anyway,
right.
If the kid is not left-handed and you force him to his left, 9 out of 10 times he takes 2 dribbles with that left hand
and he goes back
and tries to go back to his
yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all you got to do is just stick your hand out after the second dribble, and 9 out of 10 you're gonna get a little tip ball or something.
Yeah.
That's what I teach these kids.
Yeah. So
no hands on the body. We don't play with no hands on the body unless we're boxing.
No.
We play defense with our feet, and we slide and we move.
And I'm telling you, I'd like to see the tape of the 13 because I know you guys are trapping, but I really want you to work on. It's more of a frustration 13, where when they pass it down into the corner, the wings just turn and stand put, and everybody drops in the middle. And then they really can't get anything off. They got to actually lob it over, keep the ball outside. It'll be almost impossible for them to penetrate it if you don't trap it all the way in the corners.
Yeah.
So I want you to try that just in case you get a advanced team that has a wrinkle for you. Now you have an adjustment back at them,
Right.
Hey, but
we're working on it. Like I said, this week in practice, we're gonna, I make them do slides with the medicine ball.
Yo, you got to keep doing with the medicine ball. That's big. Keep them going with the medicine ball.
And when they break half court, they're holding the medicine ball, and I'm still going to throw them a chest pass.
Yes.
They got to let the medicine ball go, catch that, get rid of it, and get the medicine ball back.
Now, the decisiveness with the team, are they snapping the passes? Are they hurrying without being in a rush?
They're not dropping the ball.
Okay.
They're moving it well, and then I'll swap it in and out, and I'll put the basketball in to see how they feel with it.
Right.
And that thing is whipping around out there.
Because the best teams I've ever seen I remember always playing against Eastside and Kennedy, Passaic. They passed the ball at a different level. It was snap, snap, snap. Passing that ball the right way makes a world of difference. I know we're speaking like kindergarten level. People are probably listening to this saying, what the hell are they talking about? But the ground floor is where you develop winners. And that's important. That's very important.
Right. So we're cruising along right now, though.
I'm happy.
We're the best team in the league, defensive wise.
So when I'm back out, am I going to be there for the playoffs?
Yeah, you should be there for the playoffs.
Good. And I'll tell you what, Mel. Remember this. Pace.
Yeah.
Pace. When you guys get a rebound, get up that fucking floor.
We get about 30 points a game.
You gotta get up the floor so the defense, when a defense is able to set and just be like, when a defense could have a cup of coffee, smoke a cigarette before you even get to half court, that's not good. You want to be on the offensive. When the defense is totally set for you, they're on you. It almost feels like you're on defense because you're so smothered. You want to stay away from that for 4 quarters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why the break is good. Anybody who can dribble, it doesn't just have to be the point guard nowadays. If you have 4 guys who can dribble, they can all get it up the floor. And then you're smart enough that you can get it back out and start your actions. You don't have to go to the basket.
Right.
And I believe pushing the ball up the side is better than the middle.
If you get the rebound, push it and go because everybody can dribble.
How do you feel about pushing the ball up the side? I think it's the new way of basketball. I don't like pushing it up the middle. I think if you push it up the side, you got the middle trailer, a guy in the post, and then you can always reverse it. If 2 passes, middle to the other side. I like pushing the ball up the side.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Did you ever teach them that break?
We pushed it up the side a couple times already.
Did you ever teach them that break a little bit where the middle guy trails?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, that's big.
That's almost like my little press break that I got.
Right.
You know, where when they try to press us, I got 4 guys straight across the line.
Right.
You know, right across the foul line. The first guy steps in. As soon as he catches it, he turns. That other guy's already diagonal. The ball's in his hand. The ball never touches the ground. Is the key. Got you.
You
know, so we're with the medicine ball, the ball does not touch
that medicine ball. If you keep using that medicine ball, it's gonna help those kids so much with the passes and catches.
It's helping them now. They love it. You know.
Well, you've been doing it since the preseason, right?
Huh?
You've been doing it for a while now, right?
This is my 5th season.
With the medicine ball?
No, this is my first season. This is my first season with the medicine ball.
But you've been doing it for weeks and weeks already, right? The medicine ball?
Yeah, we've been doing it for, I want to say, at least a month and a half.
Perfect. Those little things count. You got them in shape, right? Don't let them just loaf around and play pickup.
We run. I make them run, and then at the end of the practice, you know, somebody's got to shoot, you know, free throws, and they're running.
There you go.
Until all of them get through their free throws. So I got them running.
There you go. Hey, Mel, I'm looking at my online right now. I always get into these beefs with people on the rankings of Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron because they say that Kobe was carried, right? You ready for this? Kobe's first playoff run, 2000 playoffs. You want to hear his points in the first round? 23, 32, 35, 32, 17. Second round, 25, 15, 25, 23, 17. I mean, come on. The finals, where are we? 13, 12, 25, 18, 17, 33, 25. I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
People, that's why I don't really like people too much because people want to pick out the negatives.
Yeah.
Instead of just enjoying that you got to witness Michael Jordan,
right.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. You got to witness all these greats in your lifetime.
Right.
You know?
I don't think we should compare them.
Just look for the positive in it and stop looking for all this negative shit in people.
I think it's unfair to compare them. You don't go into a garden and compare beautiful flowers. It's like, that's a beautiful flower. That's a beautiful flower. You got to look at it like that.
It's great to see it.
Right. I mean, like, just look at the 90s. We had Jordan, who was the man. He came up, right? But then I almost feel like Kobe is he's going to get appreciated more in history in 50 years because Kobe got sandwiched by 2 of the greatest players to ever live. And I feel like what he did was a little bit overlooked because to go to the finals 7 times in 10 years and win 5 rings and have that Mamba mentality at 20 years old and being a killer so early, I mean, I feel like Kobe was the best guard in the league. Huh?
You can't teach that killer.
No.
You can teach somebody to shoot a jump shot, make a layup, make a free throw. You can't teach them that killer. That comes from within.
I have a question for you, Mel. You ready? Do you remember right around 2000 when Jordan was done, right? They kept trying to promote the next Jordan. And I remember they had pictures on SportsCenter. They started with Felipe Lopez and Harold Miner. Then they went into NBA. Guys were failing so miserably. Then they started comparing NBA guys. And I remember them specifically saying, is Tracy McGrady the next Jordan? Is Kobe the next Jordan? Is Vince Carter the next Jordan? Is Allen the next Jordan? The only guy that stuck to was Kobe. There was a 7 to 10 year period where Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA, and I feel like the younger generation doesn't realize that.
I call it the bucket. When you got that bucket in you, like you don't give a shit. He's the best player on the team. He's not eating tonight.
Right.
I shut him down. You know, him and Allen Iverson would have been that too if he was 6'7".
Oh yeah, Allen Iverson was the best 6-footer I've ever seen.
Man, he would have been really in the top 5 real quick.
I think. Would you say Allen Iverson's the best player you've ever seen under 6'1"? I would.
Absolutely.
Definitely, right?
Down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Allen Iverson was fun.
There's nobody close.
Iverson was fun to watch, man. Iverson was great. But Kobe, I looked up, he averaged 29 points in the finals, where they said Shaq carried him. He averaged 29.7 in the finals. I mean, Kobe went with a total different team, and then he got, like, and if you look in hindsight, do you remember how the Kobe haters used to say, well, he's got Bynum and Gasol and Odom. Like, let's go back in the rearview mirror. Lamar Odom, crackhead. Andrew Bynum never even played again after the Kobe. After Kobe was done, Bynum went back to playing video games. No motivation at all. The only guy that was worth anything was Pau Gasol. So if you look back, and Kobe went 3 years in a row to the finals, Boston beat him, and this is what gets me mad, Mel. LeBron went to the finals in 07 and lost. I said, oh, shit, we're about to have our magic bird. And then Kobe got to the finals in 08, 09, and 2010, and LeBron never got there. He lost to Jameer Nelson and Dwight Howard. That year, Orlando played the Lakers. It should have been Cleveland and the Lakers.
Right. We missed out.
We missed it. We got robbed, bro.
Right.
We got robbed.
Those are the things we should debate. Things like that.
Yeah.
Not who's better.
Right. Like what year we got robbed out of seeing something special. Like I remember one year we almost had do you remember when Shaq and Kobe were just getting good and everybody thought they were going to get to the finals and they did? Well, I'm going to give you one where we got robbed. The year before they started their dynasty in 2000, guess who went to the finals in 1999 on the East? Take a guess.
On the East?
Yeah.
Detroit.
No, the Knicks. We almost had a Knicks Ewing versus Kobe and Shaq final, but they were a year premature, and the Spurs beat them in the Western Conference Finals, and it was Spurs Knicks. But we almost had a Knicks Lakers.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, and in 97, 98, Kobe was really a baby when he threw those air balls. But could you imagine if Jordan and the Bulls were going for their 6th title and the Lakers were on the other side in 98? How cool would that have been?
Yeah, that would have been great.
Oh, my God. See, that's what I like talking about sports.
Those are arguments
yeah.
talk about, but saying, oh, he's better because it is. Nah, man, just enjoy it, bro.
I'm really getting sick of the Sports Center narrative. I'm getting sick of it.
Kobe's gone. You're already missing these guys.
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be gone, and then there ain't nobody left.
You know, Mel, I'd rather talk the way we are, creating our own narratives and fun hypotheticals and talking a little bit about the X's and O's of the games and our teams and then talking players, because this Sports Center shit with just like breaking everything down by race and this and that, I don't want to hear that all day. I want to talk about sports, and my safe place is sports, where I don't have to worry about the bullshit and politics of everything else that goes on in life. So I want to keep things sports. Yeah. You know? I'm watching Kobe right now on the other TV do that behind the back reverse jam. Remember when he went behind the back and then dunked it like backwards? Oh, man. And that's another thing. Here, my only beef with LeBron James is we saw Michael go in the slam dunk contest, win it. We saw Kobe go in as a rookie, win it. Now, people used to go and line up on the layup lines just to watch LeBron dunk. Do you know how good LeBron's dunks were on the layup lines? Why didn't he give the fans the dunk?
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because he knows even if he gets in the dunk contest, he's not going to win because he ain't got nothing spectacular.
I don't know. And I hate on LeBron sometimes. I've seen him dunk on those damn layup lines, boy. They look really good. I don't know.
That's something we've always seen. Nobody's, nothing that we haven't seen.
You know what was a real shame? That the dunk contest was going on the other night, and I was literally watching the UFC fights on the iPad through ESPN Plus. My head never even came up. I got
one way to fix it. It's so easy. Just get them YouTubers to dunk contest.
Yeah, yes. Perfect. Amen. Amen to that.
Put a little 500,000 on it.
They got kids. They got kids on Instagram every day doing the best dunks I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen some of the dunks I've seen.
These fucking kids are getting talented, right?
Bro, it's crazy.
I want to see the best dunkers. Forget this shit that we're doing now.
Yeah, I like what they did though with the young kids and
yeah.
I like the bracket they did.
I like that too. Hey, do you notice that there's a high changing of the guard. There's more young guys in the league now than ever. Like, there's been a big changeover.
I don't want to hear that, dude.
Neither do I, but you know how I know? I'm learning 100 names. Like, there shouldn't be 100 guys turning over. Like, usually from year to year, I'm learning dudes on the fly every week. Look at Josh Giddey, my man from Oklahoma City Thunder. Did you know who Josh Giddey was in August?
Yeah, skinny white boy.
Fucking kid is legit. There's a lot of good players. A lot of good players.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about them young boys, boy. I know when I see Greg Anthony's son in the dunk contest.
Oh my God, that makes me feel old. Greg Anthony's son is in the dunk contest. That's wild. I really feel like they should bring the stars back to the All-Star game as far as the dunk contest. They should make 4 stars.
I think that All-Star game, they should be more competitive.
Yeah, you know what? The NBA's product is slightly down. Basketball is my favorite sport, so you're not going to hear me hate on the NBA just because I'm like some mean-spirited guy. I actually love basketball. I feel like the product is down right now. Do you? I don't know if you feel that way. I feel like the product is a little down. Guys sitting out. It doesn't seem like they're hustling every night. I throw a college game on, and they're fucking playing balls to the wall. I throw an NBA game on, and it doesn't look right all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little bit more at stake for them college boys.
Yeah, right, for that contract.
They're trying to get a contract. These guys are just balling, and they know half these games don't mean shit until they get to the last 2 minutes of the game.
Hey, I did a show last night, Mel. I got all the odds.
Listen real quick. A basketball game, if it's not a blowout, or if it's not, a major difference,
right?
It's the last 2 minutes of the game. 3 minutes of the game is where it really
counts. Oh my God, and Mel, you know how much money you can make going in live? I know you don't have the feature because you're out in Florida. They have this thing on the FanDuel and DraftKings. You can go in live, and the odds change as per how the game's going, right? Now, if you know a team that's really good at coming back, like for the last 2 years, I was telling all my friends, listen, I'm going to tell you something about the Milwaukee Bucks. They're always down by 10, and they always win by 10. I've seen it about 30 times. So towards the end of the year, I would wait for the Bucks to be down 29-17 early, and then I would take them live. So instead of laying 10 in before the game or laying 8, I would have them plus a couple, and I'd win my bets. So there's trends to go with, and I'm seeing this in this year's NBA. I'm seeing like the Knicks. The Knicks, if you bet against them live over the past 2 to 3 weeks, you would have made a couple $100,000. The Knicks were actually up 20, 25, and 30 in 3 different games. And I told all my friends back home, listen, go in live, just put $2 on the other team, just for me, please. I've been watching the Knicks. All they do is blow leads. Don't you know they blew all 3 leads? Now, if you would have took them, the other team, when they were down 30 to the Knicks, money line, $10 would have paid you $500. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you could really catch them. I want your opinion. Before we go, I have the NBA future champions, and they have it listed. Every team, $100 to pay blank. So every number I say, it's if you put $100 up. I want to know if you would say good value, bad value, or wouldn't touch it. You ready? It's just about 10 teams. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. The favorite, I'm going to go from favorite to least. The favorite is the Phoenix Suns. $100 pays $370. So that's the favorite, which is pretty good odds. I think Phoenix could probably win. What'd you say?
To win the whole thing?
Yes.
Or to win the West?
No. To win the whole thing.
Okay.
So you think about these and then maybe give me teams that are sticking in your mind. So you got the Phoenix Suns as the favorite plus 370, right? Okay. Right behind them, you got Golden State plus 440. Okay, now they're starting to go up. Then you got Brooklyn, who I think is a smoke and mirrors team. I'm glad they got Brooklyn as the third because I would never bet them anyway. So let them take the higher odds. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn is plus 600. $100 pays 600. So whatever, I wouldn't take them. Would you take Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? Okay, that's why I like different opinions. So you think Brooklyn's better off now?
I think Brooklyn's gonna come out. I think Brooklyn's gonna do something, bro.
Okay.
I think Durant is that good.
Right? Yeah, me too. He is good.
Durant can get if they go on a 6-game road trip Durant can get 3 of those wins by himself.
Yeah, this is true.
What I'm saying? So,
well, then what do you think about the team right under Brooklyn? Brooklyn's plus 600, which is a handsome payout. The Bucks are plus 650. The Bucks are the fourth most favorite. I like the Bucks at plus 650 better than Brooklyn at plus 600. I really like the Bucks team. I think there's something to be said for a team, T-E-A-M. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that. But I just think that, again, these games come down to down towards the end of the game. These games are not blowouts. So
right.
It's like, if the game's in the last 2 minutes of the game, who you want the ball in whose hand, Durant or Giannis?
Right. Well,
I'm taking my chances with Durant.
Well, here's what I did, Mel. I took 4 teams, right? And I tried to corner the market. So if one of them hits, if Phoenix hits, I would break even. But if the other 3 teams hit, I would win, right? So 2 of my teams I'd mentioned already, Suns and Bucks. Now we're going to get into the high money odds. I like one team in the 3rd bracket, and I like another team in the 4th bracket. You ready? Can I tell them to you?
Yep.
I happen to really like the Miami Heat plus $1,000 as a live shot. I've been watching them a lot when I was in Florida. They're tough. Everybody on their team is tough. Lowry, tough. Butler, tough. Adebayo, tough. I like tough teams. Miami's plus 1,000. So that's one of my teams I'm going to take a shot with because I could see them maybe returning to the form of 2 years ago. What do you think?
Yeah, they're a tough out.
You think plus 1,000 is a good value?
In a 7-game series, yeah, they're a tough out.
Wow. Now, I got one more team. This one, you're either going to love it or hate it. I don't know if you're drinking the Kool-Aid, but when I saw this one, I had to do it. You ready for this one? This team, the odds were so high, I didn't even have to put $100 on them. I put $40 on this team to win the title, and it pays $1,279. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies to win the title are plus 3,000. What if Memphis just takes that next step and all of a sudden they win? Imagine plus 3,000.
They don't got no big man.
That's the best. Yes, they do. They got the strongest center since fucking Shaq, Steven Adams.
Nah, he's not a big man.
Yes, he is. Steven Adams lifts grown men with his pinky. Right. He's so strong.
Yeah, that's all he does, though. He's not a threat.
Yeah, he's not a real threat. But here, listen to this. Ja Morant, Bane, Brooks are decent. Then you got the kid, Kyle Anderson, decent. But when you look at the front court, Jaren Jackson Jr. can shoot inside, outside. He's a nice player if he stays healthy. And Steven Adams will go on the offensive glass and hold it down. I think Memphis is my best long shot at plus 3,000. Under them, you got 3 teams that, to me, are not going anywhere. Would you touch Denver, Lakers, or Dallas?
Well, I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay, so you have to do something. I have an order. Mel, I have an order for you. Never in the history of our lives can you put such a little amount of money on the Lakers to win it all and get paid so much because the Lakers have had so much trouble. The Lakers are plus 4,200 to win it all. So that means $50 on the Lakers pays $2,100. $25 on the Lakers pays $1,050. $12 on the Lakers pays $500. $6 on the Lakers pays $250. Wow. So that means $3 on the Lakers pays $125. You want me to put $3 on for you?
Just for the simple fact that when the playoffs start,
right,
LeBron James is a different person. And we've all seen it. I don't care if this is year 18. I don't care what the situation is. When the playoffs start, that man is a different type of player.
He is. You know what? I just gave myself a great idea. I'm going to put $3 on the Lakers to win it all because it pays $1.50. That's pretty cool.
Put the 6.
6 for $250, right?
Yeah.
You know what? When could you ever in your life bet $6 on the Lakers to win it all and get $250? I think that's the dark horse. That's my real sleeper.
Right, that's a sleeper. Again, like I said, if they're decent, I wouldn't say fully healthy. I'd say decently healthy.
Right.
Going in, they're probably got to go into the play-in.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Which will probably be, should be an easy one for them.
Should be.
They should get in with that.
Yeah.
Everybody's decent, and it all comes on if they got to get Westbrook right. They just got to get him right.
Well, we're in a full sprint now, so hopefully Westbrook took his HGH, whatever he does, because every time Westbrook hits the All-Star break, he comes back out of a cannon. I don't know what kind of drugs they're giving him, but it's literally two different people.
So, to me personally, he should come off the bench on that second unit.
Yeah.
He can dominate that second unit. He can have the ball in his hand as much as he wants.
Yeah.
I think he should come off the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm looking at some odds, Mel.
I think they should start Mel.
Oh, is he hurt? Is he back?
He should be back after the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's okay, right?
But they said it wasn't even that major, just because the All-Star break was right there. They just let him sit it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'll tell you what, Mel. I was looking at odds before I left for Florida, like 3.5 weeks ago, and the power of anticipation really pays off. Joel Embiid right now to be the MVP is even money. Guess what I got him at 3.5 weeks ago? Plus 900. Nice. And I paired it up. I took Cooper Kupp to be the World Series, the NFL MVP of the Super Bowl 3 weeks before the Super Bowl. Joel Embiid to be the MVP and the Florida hockey team to win it all pays $26,000.
So you're good on one of them, right?
Well, it looks like Embiid and Kupp is already in. Embiid looks like it's going to be a lock, and I got that at plus 900. So basically, if the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup, I put 25 on it, so it'll pay me like $6,000. Pretty crazy, right? Oh man.
For the Panthers.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be a Panther. You'll see me on a plane in the arena if it ever gets to that. If Embiid wins that MVP, I will be at the Panthers game.
Right.
But you know what, Mel? I'm going to chop this up. I didn't realize we got a little half hour going. I like talking basketball. Mel, I want to get a weekly spot of us. I want to break down X's and O's, like detail. I want to talk the game, and then we'll always reference players and things that we're looking at. But I want to talk the actual game of basketball.
Right. And people got little comments they want to add, like little plays.
Yeah, I like dialogue
against the zone and stuff like that. I'm always looking for little help with little extra, little quick hitters, or anything like that.
Yep. Yes. Feedback in the comments. Anybody has good plays.
Listeners hearing this, if they got any little ideas that they think I can use, I'm more than open to listening. Right.
Offensive actions, quick hitters, defensive wrinkles. We always like to learn from everybody. You go to coaches' clinics, you speak to other coaches, you network. But Carmelo and I, we're open books. You never stop learning.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know it all, and I love to learn.
The day you think you know it all is when you actually stop progressing. So in anything in life. So I like that we're always learning. So we'll keep everything open. I'm going to have a couple coaches on here too. Shout out to Coach Pete Vassell. Once I get the Zoom installed and I can get you guys in the boxes, I'm going to have you, Coach Carmelo, on the top left. Coach Pete Vassell on the top right, myself, maybe Kevin Grimes, over where anybody. We're gonna have coaches and really speak the game.
Because then you can chop it up. I can chop it up with them.
Right.
They can hear my insight and maybe tell me, critique what I need to do. I love that kind of shit.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Me too. So I'm gonna let everybody know we're gonna be doing all this neighborhood picks, YouTube. I got the neighborhood picks Twitter handle, neighborhood picks Instagram. This is Carmelo Ortiz, one of the best coach I ever coached with, lifelong friend. So subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. We're going to go in all different avenues, but it's all about sports, fitness, wellness, positive things in life. We're always going to be on that good moral compass track, no matter what we're doing. Right, Mel?
Facts.
All right, brother. Well, listen, good luck and everything. And then I'm going to get out of here. I got to go train myself. So, I'm going to be, I'll call you later on.
All right, broski, hit me up.
All right, Mel.
All right.
Later.